What's going on, guys? So today's video, we're actually going to work on the 55 Chevy. But before we get into that, look at this fine 57 Chevy, which one of you could be driving home. So if you haven't already known, I'm giving this away if we make it 57,000 subscribers. So we're on our way. We got lots of traction. Tell your friends, make it happen, you know, all those sort of things. Because I want to just hand you the keys, no strings attached, once we get to 57,000. Obviously, I'm going to fix it up, and you'll be watching those videos as we go, but that's not happening today. Today we're going to do the transmission on the 55. So a while ago, I swapped that motor and transmission. The transmission was a dud, even though it was brand new, rebuilt. I actually ended up working on it a little bit, trying to screw around, changing the governor, and a bunch of junk like that. Nothing really worked. I'll probably put that footage in at the beginning, and then we'll fast forward back to the present time when I just got a whole new transmission, and we're going to R&R it. So that'll be fun. Nothing like doing a transmission twice, right? Unfortunately, Cobra's gotta go somewhere because this has to go there, so I gotta move that out of the way. 56 is staying there, 55 in, and then I can back my truck up and get the transmission out. So that's how today's gonna go. So I'll get everything all kind of moved around, get it all squared away, and we'll bring you back. But in the meantime, enjoy me struggle. I don't even know what the footage is like, but I was pretty pissed off for a while there. Well, today's video is gonna be a little different than usual. So a few videos ago, I did the motor and trans swap on the 55, and where I ended it, I broke the cam in. It was running good. I was happy with it. Everything was golden on it. So the next day, or whatever it was, I tried starting the next video, which I'll probably put some footage in right away, where I put the thing all together. The rest together, the hood on, all that stuff. I just took it for a test drive. Well, the transmission, it started in second gear. You could manually pull first, and it didn't have high gear. Whatever, I played around with it. Wasn't happy. Next day, took it down to the place I got the trans from. They said, okay, we'll fix it. So I dropped my other transmission off. They're going to rebuild that one. I'm just going to R&R it again. Now, it's probably something fairly simple. They've done this lots. I'm sitting around, either there's a stuck valve or governor or something like that is not happy. Which is fine, but you know, when you buy something new, you really shouldn't have to fix it. That's kind of where I was at. So I thought, okay, I'll get another tranny and I'll swap it out. Well, it's since been about 10 or 12 days now. Kind of getting the runaround. Whatever. So that's what we're going to work on today. I'm going to jack this thing up, get under it, and see exactly what I can do. Maybe I can fix it real easy. But anyways, I'll put the footage in right now of where I kind of was putting it together. I don't think I even took it for a test drive on camera because I was so angry at the time. And again, it was almost 2 weeks ago. So we'll do that right now. Well, fast forward a little bit. I got everything basically together. I'm happy with it. So transmissional vacuum lines are hooked up. I ran new lines to the front, which was kind of boring, but yeah, I flared both front and back, so it shouldn't pop off. The gas line, fuel line, I left where it is. I just kind of strapped it out of the way. What else did I do? Oh, somehow I lost a few of these spark plug boots, which I know is shocking with how organized I am. But so I got to find a couple of those. What else have I worked on? Well, I hooked up the kickdown cable. So this one actually has it's a low car unit I have. So 400s have an electronic kickdown, like a little micro switch. So this one just has a cable which goes down a micro switch on the transmission. So that's all in. Radiator and all that's on. Filled up with coolant. And I love this water wetter stuff. I don't know, just kind of keeps things a little cooler. I'm stoked on it. So yeah, everything is good. I'm just going to clean everything up. I'm going to go over everything now it's run and just tighten up all the header bolts, the intake bolts, everything that was kind of, you know, whatever. Tighten everything up. Should be good. I put a few new caps on the carburetor for vacuum. So I should be able to dump it down, set the timing properly. So I'm probably going to try and go like, I don't know, 36 or 38 degrees all in. And then whatever it is at base is what it is. That's my plan. That's what I'm going to do on this sucker and see if it pings and stuff and how it turns over. But I'm thinking it should be good. And what else do I got to do? I think that's it. So that's the plan. I'll drop this thing down, get it running, and yeah, maybe we'll go for a little test drive. It looks like it's going to rain again. I just can't win with the weather, but at least it's cool, not too hot to work. All right, so now we're back. Yeah, I'm gonna back this thing out and over. I'm hoping I just kind of squeeze it in the side, because I think the governor and everything and the vacuum modulator, whatever it is on the passenger side. I'm hoping I can just kind of slide under there and pull it all out without having to actually jack the thing up completely, but we'll see. So I get this thing moved over, and wish me luck, guys, because this is it's a bummer when you pay good money for something and you want to drive a thing and it ends up being less drivable with new parts than it was with junk parts. Lesson learned. All right, so I had the car up on stands, couldn't quite reach it, so I pulled this out. This is the governor, so it's just a little cover and it pops out, and there's a set of weights in here. This is kind of like, I don't know, my Turbo 400 knowledge, I wouldn't say it's anything to write home about. It kind of works like a distributor would. So as it's spinning, these fly open, and there's supposed to be a little valve in here. You can see this, and it's supposed to move freely, and it's not. So I had to move it a little bit, so it's got some junk in it. So I'm thinking I'm gonna see if I can take it apart, clean it, or at least throw some brake cleaner in it. If that doesn't work, then I guess I need a new one. So we'll see. And you can change the springs inside there. Man, I don't know what lighting is here. Change springs in there, and there's weights, so it can open and close at different rates. So I'll try blowing it out with brake clean, see if that'll fix it. I don't know. Wish me luck. All right, so a little bit of screwing around later. So this is the way it works. So as these whip open, I guess centrifugal force wise, it opens and closes this little valve. Now what happened was, this valve, you can see it, see how it moves there? Well, it was stuck. What way was it stuck? It was stuck, like, closed, I guess, and it didn't move. So when you would spin and these would open, this is tricky to do one-handed, see how it kind of opens up there? So it didn't have any movement like that. So I blew it all out with air and brake clean. I'm gonna try putting it back in and see if that fixes all my problems. I mean, if it does, it was, I don't know, half hour, 45-minute fix of screwing around and a can of brake clean. It just seems funny fixing something you just bought, right? But whatever, see how my luck goes, and I'll put this sucker back together. Hopefully you guys already know that it's gonna work 100% for me. You can tell me in the comments now before I crawl under there. All right, she's back on the ground. Just gonna let it warm up a little bit. Take it for a test drive. Doesn't it sound good though? You guys were saying less background music, more motors singing. All right, well, let's go for a ride and see what happens. Well, we're on the road. Unfortunately, it's doing the same thing. So I got it in drive. Come to it. So if I come to a dead stop and I give it gas, but it's in second, and manually pull first, hit second, no third. So it's just doing it, same thing with the tack. Hit pull in second, nothing happens. Third, nothing. So they pull first. So I don't know. Bring her home, back to the drawing board. At least I feel better it's not just me. I guess the transmission has to come further apart, or maybe that governor is absolutely screwed up. Bummer. Well, car's back on stands. I got home angry. I had a Coke and took it apart again. So I don't know. This thing, like, it moves freely if you ask me. I can't imagine what else I do. So another can of brake cleaner, a bunch of compressed air. I'm gonna put it back together and see. I can't imagine how this thing can possibly break or be broken or whatever. I mean, other than this little nylon gear being worn out, which, I mean, I guess it's got some marks in it, but it's not bad. I can't see that being even the issue. So I'm gonna wrestle under there one more time, put it back together, one more test drive. Let's see what happens. In case you guys are wondering how it's going, second gear, third gear, second gear, nothing. For fuck's sake. I'm headed home. Well, back in her spot she goes. So tomorrow I'm thinking after work I'm going to run down and see if the guy that I dropped the transmission off with has the governor of the old transmission. And because I know that one worked, so at least then I can put that in, and if I still have this issue, I know I have another problem. I don't know, guys. It's probably a frustrating video to watch even, but I'll figure it out one day or another. Problem is, this thing just looks so cool, and man, I've been bagging on it first, second. This thing goes like at a roll. You'll like, I mean, it's got a decent set of tires. I think the 275s on it. Rolling, you know, 20 mile an hour down the road and just stomp on it. It just blazes the tires. Like it's the right amount of power, the right amount of gear, the right amount of everything. Just doesn't have high gear. So stick with me. We'll get her figured out. All right, guys. One more time. We're up on the ramp. So I do that instead of jacking it up. I ripped the governor out and it was stuck again. So I took it in to the guy who built it. He gave me another one, which appeared to not be stuck. It's now in. I'm getting real good at ripping those out. So I'm gonna fire this thing up, let it warm up, go for a ride around the block, and see if we have some gears. Otherwise, shiny's coming out. Well, same problem. Guess I'm pulling the transmission out, so that's good times. Yeah. I guess I'll see you guys on this when I get another one. Alright, well now you see me struggle, I'm assuming, not getting the stupid car going. I'm finally got this thing in the garage, which was a nightmare. So this thing was on the street, dead. So I had to steal the battery out of the 57, which was also a pain because it only starts under the hood. So I had to stand under the hood like an idiot, revving it for a while. Get that out. I backed out of my plow, so sorry guys if there's a dent on your that. Do that, carry the battery to the street, screw around, get it running. It died, had to boost it again. Nightmare, which I didn't want to do because I had to run it for a while, so now it's hot. I was hoping I could just kind of fire it up and gingerly coast it in here, but and there's just rubber everywhere. You know, stupid. I even put this plank up like an idiot though. I centered it between the rear wheels, so it did nothing. Idiot. So I'll put this thing up on stands, let it cool off a little bit, maybe get some Scooby-Doo snacks or something, and then oh, transmission, you guys can see that. They guaranteed that this one has all 3 gears and reverse, so we'll see. This is actually a transmission that came out of that thing, so I know it was good. They just went through it and did the clutches, shift kit, and you know, whatever. Fiasco. All right. Jack the sucker up. All right, so we're up in the air. I actually figured I'd give you guys give you a tour of this thing, because that 56 video, everyone seems to say 2-lane blacktop. Well, so this is a 55. I converted this 4-door, 2-door. This one I actually had a donor car, so I used the proper posts and everything like that. The front clip's a pain to take off right now because it's all kind of just sitting there, but it's a built 454 tunnel ram with dual quads. The Turbo 400, obviously. I have a high stall in it with a shift kit. That's what's going to be in the thing. It's got a factory rear end, which I know everyone keeps saying I'm going to blow it up, which is a chance. With 410 posi. Everyone said it was going to blow up, so I decided to paint her up like a bomb. Once you get under there, I'll kind of show you, but this thing is like brand new on it. Like I redid everything, all the suspension. I put a brace kit in it. Whole front end is new, and all sorts of stuff. Otherwise, I mean, it's ratty 55 Chevy, right? But it's a real tire fryer. Right now it only does it in first and second though. All right, well, I jumped ahead a little. Transmission is out, which is a bit of a nightmare, but hey, what are you gonna do? I didn't do a whole lot of filming of it because it's terrible boring work and boring. So you guys want to watch that, click on someone else's, search it up and they'll show you how to do it. I did have to switch over my cooler lines, speedometer gear, the mount, and this is the linkage for the ratchety shifter. I got to pull the converter out, switch it over, But before I do that, I figured I'd show you guys under this thing. I don't think I've done that in a while. Bear with me. I guess a light would help. So, when I got this thing, I redid everything on it a couple of years ago. I put this fancy brace in it. So it's got a cross member there and where the transmission would be up here as well. So that worked out pretty good. The motor, I actually didn't have to take the hood off. I could get to all the bolts. One was a little bit tight, but I got to it. Otherwise, I just let everything hang. So the kick down, the vacuum, cooler lines, I pulled the dipstick out. So yeah, actually wasn't terrible. Going back in is a bit of a bear, snugging in there and getting on the dowels, but shouldn't be too bad. So I'll get everything kind of finished up. I think I'll probably try and get the transmission in. I did make a hell of a mess, so I got to kind of sweep that up. But I'll probably get the transmission in tonight, and I'm running out of steam. So tomorrow I'll fill it up with fluid and hook everything up and all that, drop it off stands, because like I said, the front end's just sitting on there, and I need someone to help me take it off, and it's a whole big fiasco. So yeah, I'll get that thing in, bring it back a couple more times, and this video is probably terrible because of all the fail I had already, but I don't know. That's hot rodding. Alright, I lugged that big girl over, tossed it in, so I got it bolted up, but that's about it. Oh god. So it's on the cross member, it's the bell housing, but nothing else is hooked up, and that's where I'm going to leave it, because I always find I don't like having, you know, I have a few bolts here, a few bolts there, you'll think it's done and it's not. So this way I know it's just sitting in there. Every single thing has to be attached. So that's where we leave it for today. I don't think there's anything else we gotta take off this unit, but we'll see. Be back at tomorrow, bolt her up, and hopefully go for a drive, finally. Alright, see you guys tomorrow. Alright, next day. Even though we're in the same dirty clothes, because I gotta crawl around in a bunch of terrible transmission oil. But check, I washed my hair, conditioned it and everything. So transmission was in, that's where we left it, but nothing is hooked up, and the front clip's just sitting there, so that's a pain in the ass. So I'm hoping I'll get everything kind of buttoned up and then push it back, convince somebody to come over, take the front clip off, put it on a set of sawhorses, because I can't take this thing outside really, because it's raining out. With no hood anyways, those stupid carburetors. There's a lot happening here. You know, it wasn't so bad when it was the Cobra and the T. There's still lots of room. But these full-size Chevys, anyways, well, I'm gonna get out of there, hooking all the junk back up, kick down, vacuum, shifter, what else? Oh, drive shaft has to go in. A lot of little stupid things. But it's easy at least. And it's all brand new, so it should go back together. Okay, well, I wrestled the front clip ahead. So I get in there, I dumped 5 liters, I think, or a gallon, I don't know what I had, of ATF in there. It didn't dump on the ground, so that's one step in the right direction. I'm going to double check all the mounts and stuff underneath one last time. I'll fire it up, see what the fluid level is, put a little more in if I have to, and then, I mean, really, I should be done, right? It is still pouring rain. This thing doesn't have wipers on it, but I need to know if it has the gears. So we're going around the block no matter what. Hopefully it has the gears. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little nervous here. It's I don't know. I really don't want to put this transmission in one more time. So that's what I'll do. Next time you see it, this thing will be on the ground, idling softly or roughly, one or the other, and we'll go for a ride. Alright guys, we're cruising. 3rd gear, 2nd gear, 1st gear, 2nd, 3rd. So it's good. The only problem is I have a bit of an oil pressure issue. When I hit the brakes, it drops down and then goes back up. So I don't know what that's all about, but I'll definitely have to figure it out. And it seems to be under braking, not engine RPM. So I don't know, maybe it's a little low on oil or something like that, because it seemed to run fine before. But again, if I hit the brake, it drops down to 10 pounds and then figures itself out. 3 gears, right? That's pretty slick. All right, well, we made her home. Yeah, I don't know, I'm kind of pissed at this car. So tomorrow, I'm probably just gonna put a couple liters of oil in it. Maybe it's just, seems like an oil starvation issue under either heavy load or braking and all that. So I'm hoping anyways, I don't know. This is the same oil pump and pan I had on the other motor. So I don't know, I don't tell you guys, but no burnouts today because I don't want to melt down that fancy motor I got in it. It runs good, it's got lots of jam until it runs out of pressure, and transmission's good now, so I'm stoked on that. I don't know, man, there's a lot of Tri-5s in here, eh? But that's our leave for today. As always, well, for now on, the free 57 giveaway. So if you guys are interested in that, check out some of the other videos if you're new, just by fluke. But so 57 Chevy 4-door, I'm going to go through it, fix it all up, and we're going to try and give it away at 57,000 subscribers. So liking the video and sharing with your friends and clicking the subscribe are super important. So there's that little arrow there. You can actually share the video with a buddy. Do that, get him subscribed, and we'll go from there. But thanks very much for watching, and I will see you guys on the next one, hopefully with better news. First Tri-5 is the most pain in the ass one I've ever had.